How's it going, everyone? I finally finished the list scrolls extension for GDevelop, so I just want to show you everything I made for this little extension. So let me just move this up, and I'm going to explain how to create a list like this. Okay, so anything is visible there. So the first thing we need is a sprite to use as a list scroll area, and this sprite, as you can see, is 8 by 8, I think. You can do this sprite any size, 32, 32, whatever the size you need to your game. So this needs the draggable, so add behavior, draggable behavior, and let the precision check it. Okay. So let me just resize this to 320 for 320, something like that, or maybe 256. So the list itself is going to be smaller than the mask, which is the next sprite what we need for the list. So the mask is just an sprite with the size, the width and height that you want to mask from the list. If we do this and put this 128, when we play, this is going to be the mask of the list. Since we have this here, nothing is happening because in the events we are referencing the list mask. At this moment you can only have one instance, so we move this here. As you can see, here's working, but here's not working. Just one list. So this can be removed from here. And if we make the mask smaller, see, we only see 2 items of the list, and the slider resizes itself automatically, and then you can move up and down with the buttons. And these two sprites are the only thing that you need to add to your scene to create the list, because the up down slider and the background for the slider are created automatically. Another thing you need to know is, for instance, the app is just a sprite, simple sprite. Same for the down, and the list slider and the slider background are patch 9 patch sprites. This slider needs a draggable behavior with the precision checked, and the scroll bar just a sprite and a panel sprite. So if you can see this, if I make the mask larger and I play, the slider is bigger and the slider background is bigger too. But just for this example, we set the height of the mask to 320. These ones here, the icons for the items, the 1, 2 and 3 icons are appearing because we have the icon with different animations. So maybe you want to have here a potion with the potion animation, and here, I don't know, a shield, and here maybe a sword. And you can identify the item like this with the animation name. There is some logic here, but this is not part of the extension. I write this, I create a structure with all the items inside, and then we change the item animation here depending on the counter. This counter is from here, which is assigned to 0 at the start, at the beginning of the scene. Then we repeat, I don't know, 3 times, for instance, 4 times, so all the items are going to be visible. So the first is 0, so the animation of the icon list is this one, the empty animation. The next is the animation number 1 because this is the item number 1. Since we are repeating here 4 times, so the very first time when we enter, we increase the amount of the counter. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4. This can be done here or here at the end. The way you need to organize your items into the list. Then we change the item description and the item title. In this case is just item title in all of the items. But the thing is that with this logic you can place sorry, you can place here the item name. This is for create the buttons, icons, and the bold text, one for title, one for description. And here we have another counter, which is items counter. Here is assigned to 0, and then for each child of this structure items we get the value and the key, and do a check here. If the value ID has a number different from 0, we do things. We create the button, the icon, and everything. For instance, if you don't want an icon to be created, you can have just a list with a button, a title, and a description. A simple list. Or maybe you don't need the description. We just need the animation and which kind of item is this, a potion, sword, or whatever you want. And this, as I said, this is not a part of the extension. I just want to keep simple things, because with this extension you create the UI of the list. Then the logic of the created list is up to you to implement. And here, let me uncomment. I don't really know if this works right now, because I made some changes and I don't know if this is working. Well, some kind. It's not coming back. It works, but the list is not coming back to the, and with the other. No, it's not coming back either. I think it's because the items are less, all of the items has a less height of the mask, so that's why it's not coming back. If we put this to 14, for instance, this is more logic. Even if these items are empty. So, sorry, with these events you have the same results. Like these other events, and here we mask. You have to come to other actions, list, scroll, masked items, and here you add the list itself and the items to be masked, the button, the icon, the title, and the description. So all of these, this one, and this one, and this one are going to be masked in this list. And that's it. There is no more to config here. Let me check some in preview so you can see which variables scene variables. Okay, so we have our list items available, which is a structure with another structure inside named items, and inside items each one of them, item 1, which is a structure with an ID, an icon frame, a title, and a description. Yeah, and any of these can be changed in runtime inside for each of these childs. So you here in the item 1 the ID is 1, and here is 2, and so on. If we are going to look at the item 14, sorry, we have this ID here, and the icon frame is going to be according to the item number. Then here the item counter, the list counter. This really shouldn't be here, but I don't really know how to how to remove a variable if this is possible. I don't know how to, but these two variables, key and value, really doesn't do anything into the extension. This is for control the scroll ratio of this slider. This is for the content offset, and this is the percentage, which controls the size from here to here, depending on the items quantity. If we right now we have 14, so let me add 1 trillion here. I don't know, 100. So as you can see, this slider is smaller because it's taking a list of 100 items. Then we'll less items have here, the bigger it's going to be sorry, the slider bar. Okay, so this is basically how to set up the list scroll. Some users of my YouTube channel ask me to upload this to the GDevelop community extensions, but I'm not going sorry, I'm not going to upload this extension because it has a lot of code, and they are always asking change this, change that, change another, change the change the variable, change the name, change what. I'm sorry, I don't have time to make such changes in the extension. It is what it is, and it works. So if you really want to use the extension, just download the source code, which is going to be available here on GitHub, and I probably upload to my website too here. So here sorry, here you can get the extension and others extension I made. So one for draggable limits, moving platform, rotating platforms, spikes, one for saving and loading data, one for get properties. I think this was approved into the GDevelop community. Let me check. Get properties. Yeah, this is approved officially into the GDevelop community. So I think it is a pretty much decent extension. Okay, so I hope you enjoy. Sorry about my cough and my English, as I always said. Bye bye.